Marie C. Baca, thank you so much for being with us today.
Happy to be here.
You've created a newsletter called Chili Street. What is it and why did you start writing it?
Yeah, so it's a free email newsletter. You can sign up at chilistreet.com. And what it does is that it collects the most interesting stories from across New Mexico's social media, across platforms. So Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, everything else.
So I take it during the pandemic, you started spending a lot of time looking at your phone.
Yeah, so a little bit about its origins. I had actually started it back in 2018 and only got out a few issues. Back then, it was more of a news roundup, maybe a couple stories here and there that I felt like should be more amplified. But yeah, once the pandemic hit and I found myself needing a break from homeschooling my two lovely children, I decided to bring it back and quickly found that the stories that I was seeing across New Mexico social media were the ones that were really getting a strong response from my readers.
Street fitting in the news ecosystem for your readers.
Yeah, so I think that there are some amazing news organizations and amazing journalists in New Mexico, but I don't see anyone covering social media itself as a beat. It's actually not something that's done very often nationally. Most even large organizations don't have the budget for it, but it's becoming more common. So I see this as being something that can not only amplify existing news coverage, but is really going to find news stories and collect interesting ideas from the people who may not be visiting news websites or read a newspaper, but they're on social media, and that's many, many, many New Mexicans.
And I don't want people to think you're knocking journalism or mainstream media because you wrote for the Albuquerque Journal and the Washington Post. I mean, you have been mainstream media, but
Oh, absolutely.
you're looking
Yeah,
at it differently.
I see this as something that can be complementary to existing media. And the truth is that news organizations are trying to do the best they can with really limited resources, and have amazing people employed. I mean, most of my best friends are New Mexico journalists right now, and I want to support their work. And I also want to find ways to bring new readers into this ecosystem. And I think one of the best ways to do that is through social media.
Lots of news organizations are working with newsletters. They've been experimenting with them for a long time. Some aren't even experimenting. They've been doing a great job for a long time. The New York Times crossword and the cooking newsletter, for example, they're some of my favorites. What are some of your favorite newsletters that you read?
Yeah, we had talked before about the New York Times crossword because I'm also a huge fan. But I'm really interested in lots of different types of newsletters. I've been focusing on tech newsletters right now because I'm interested in scaling Chili Street and bringing it to even more readers. So I read some really well-known ones like Morning Brew and The Hustle and The Skim. I also wanted to mention there's another New Mexico-based newsletter that's really great. It's by Kelsey Atherton and Allie Mae Atherton, called Wars of Future Past, and it's all about military technology, and it's amazing. So I try to read a number of different things, and there's a lot of lessons to be gleaned from the ones that do it really well.
And what are those? I mean, what makes a newsletter not just successful monetarily, but fun to read or interesting? Or what makes it one of the emails that you read in the morning among the pile you delete?
Exactly. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're the same way. You wake up and your inbox is just full of things that you don't want to read. So how do you create something that you do want to read? I think it's a combination of personality. You want to read an email from your best friend, but maybe not from, a business that you utilized once or something like that. But I'm also trying to bring things to the table that you're not necessarily going to see elsewhere on the internet unless you're on every single platform monitoring it day and night. So I think people, we talk a lot about doom scrolling and then just being overwhelmed by the amount of bad news that can be out there. So, I love the idea of mixing up the more important solemn stories with things that are just kind of interesting or fun or weird. And social media is just a great mix of that in of itself. So I want this newsletter to be reflective of that.
Can you give me an example of some of the things that you've found on social media and put in the newsletter? I know it's young still, the newsletter, but give us some examples.
Yeah, so it'll be everything from a New Mexico politician spelling chili with an I instead of an E, and then the response that getting on the internet. Or also, one of my favorites was a couple of issues ago, a New Mexico-based Twitter user made a joke about wanting to lick the sidewalk after she had her vaccination. And then a national outlet picked up this story and wrote this larger piece about people tweeting weird things about wanting to lick things once they're vaccinated. Now, that may seem like a silly story, but it's still something, kind of interesting to read that you're probably not going to, see or read in a different outlet.
When you're out there looking at what news organizations are doing with their newsletters and what folks are doing, it can be hard to mix news and what's popular on social media and what's popular in newsletters. I was watching the Washington Post started trying to reach young people where they are on TikTok and started doing some newsy TikToks, really brief, but maybe with a little dancing. And they were just savaged by grownups saying, "This is beneath you, Washington Post." What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think we have to be really careful about holding our nose when it comes to social media. I mean, the bottom line is that there are millions of especially younger people on social media, but people of all ages who are consuming their news that way. I mean, quite frankly, that's probably one of the main ways that I consume my news these days. And so we have to, as news organizations, find readers, figure out where they are and meet them where they're at. So I think the Post has done a great job of doing that. And I think other news organizations are really going to find that it's a critical piece of their business model and reader engagement to be more online when it comes to social media.
In an ideal world, where do you see Chili Street going? What's the future look like?
Well, my dream has always been to create an organization that I can use to employ New Mexico journalists and bring in new people to the fold. So I'd still love to do that. Right now we're still very small, but I'm really excited about the fact that we're growing really quickly and we have a really high open rate for our emails, meaning people are not only receiving this in their inbox, but they're opening it, they're reading it, they're clicking on the links. And so I think that has some really good prospects for our business model.
Marie C. Baca, thank you so much for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.